Hello, welcome to the latest in gaming, my gaming news show coming at you live 3 days a week until I decide to change the schedule. Today is Monday, May 5th, 2025, and today's top stories are Half-Life 3 is playable and may be announced this year. Gears of War Reloaded was announced for Xbox, PC, and PS5, and Nintendo is suing people again. If any of that sounds interesting, stick around, and if you're feeling generous, why not help a brother out? Hit that subscribe or even that like button. Both, if you feel like it. Yeah, if you're new, this is my gaming news show. I do 3 days a week currently, started a few weeks ago. Just a nice, fun outlet for me to chat about games, and then I might go ahead and turn some clips from this and, make shorts from them. Well, I do. I've been posting a lot of those, so likely if you're here, that's because of it. I'm not planning to do a super long latest in gaming today. Just kind of go through everything and briefly chat about it. But I do plan to stream again later tonight. I'm going to do Oblivion. I started it yesterday, Oblivion Remastered. Had a lot of fun starting off that game, but I really kind of just got started, so be excited to continue on from there. So without any further ado, excuse me. Without any further ado, let's just jump into it. Okay, so boom. So this comes from Chris Scullion at VGC. Half-Life 3 is playable. Half-Life 3 is playable end to end. Valve Insider claims the game is being playtested religiously and widely. It's reported. Tyler McVicker, who has a history of insider reporting on Valve project, claimed in his latest YouTube discussion that the game, which is reportedly codenamed HLX, is far enough ahead in development that it can be played from start to finish. McVicker claimed that HLX is being playtested by a sizable group of people and that some of them have already leaked plot details to other people. HLX is being playtested so religiously and so widely that there are individuals that will just talk, he said. I personally have a policy of avoiding any story-related questions or information where possible, so I currently have avoided all of them. But I've been offered it by people whom are trustworthy, and I know that some of my contemporaries have been given it, so there is information out there about the plot. Elsewhere in his video, McVicker stressed that Half-Life 3 is not a VR title, like Half-Life Alyx, and that Alyx had been leaked significantly more than HLX had been at this point in development, suggesting that the current project is being kept more tightly under wraps to an extent. At this point in Alyx's development, I knew the ending. I pretty much knew every major gameplay aspect of it. At this point, I had screenshots. Given its reported stage of development, McVicker said the game could be ready for an announcement this summer and release in the winter, though it was stressed that it was purely guesswork out of his part. This is the furthest it's ever been, he explained, period. The game is playable end to end, period. It's never been that far. And they're optimizing it and polishing it. Sorry, just a sec. Be right back. Sorry about that. Let's continue on here. They're optimizing it, polishing it. They're probably content locked, and if they're not, mechanic locked. Back in 2021, McVicker said there was no Half-Life 3 game in development at the time because Valve was instead busy working on a game called Citadel, which would eventually evolve into Neon Prime and then become Deadlock. Did Deadlock ever release? I know it's like one of the most played Steam games, but like nobody actually knows if it's released or not. I'm not too sure. But this is interesting. So Half-Life 3 potentially coming out within the next year or two. Wonder which we'll get first, Half-Life 3 or GTA 6, now that GTA 6 finally has a release date that I think it'll probably stick with it, but we'll see. But like the just crazy to think about, honestly. Half-Life 3, it's literally the game that people have said it's like the golden goose of games since, when did Half-Life 2 came out? Half-Life 2 release 2004. Wow, so it'll be over 20 years. That's ridiculous. Wow. McVicker claimed that HLX is being play tested by a sizable group. It's nice to see that it's not getting as leaked as Alex. I wonder if like if Half-Life Alex was kind of like them like play testing the waters on what people thought about, this being a VR game, because the first two were very like monumental for their time, but now I feel like the rest of the industry has caught up and surpassed, that significantly. And then they, kind of, what's the word, like, revolutionized VR gaming with Half-Life Alyx, and then maybe that was them playtesting Half-Life 3. And I guess apparently, even though it was an amazing game, I think it's just not, it wouldn't make enough money for them to make a Half-Life 3 with a VR. So, I don't know, it's interesting to say the least. I never played the Half-Life game, so I would definitely, if this is true, I'm definitely going to have to play the others. I wonder if they'll release them on console. Be nice to see. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's all I really had to say about that. Sorry, I didn't prepare a lot for today. I just kind of doing it a bit of a rush job today, to be honest. But I just I have this schedule now, very rough schedule, and I want to at least stick to that. So, moving on to Gears of War. Should we go to Gears of War next or Nintendo? I'll do Gears of War because I think it'll be quick. Gears of War is officially coming to PlayStation 5 in August. One of Microsoft's biggest franchises is making the jump to PlayStation. This comes from Jordan Midler at VGC. Gears of War Reloaded is officially coming this August to PS5, Xbox, and PC. Microsoft has announced that the Gears of War franchise will debut on PlayStation this August, almost 20 years after it was first released on Xbox. Sorry. Is this loud enough? I think it is. Gears of War Reloaded is a modernized version of the original Gears of War game and features all the improvements from Gears of War Ultimate Edition, plus some modern performance boosts. It's coming out August 26th for $40. That's nice. Even though Xbox just raised their prices. And this is $40 US, so this would be 50 Canadian or something like that. 4K 120. That's nice. That's got cross-platform play. So did this announce the next mainline entry? Yeah, E-Day is coming eventually. So I guess this is to hype people up for E-Day, which is cool. I don't know, it's cool. I don't think Gears of War has ever been on PlayStation before, so it's like cool to see one of their, I'd say like of all time anyways, maybe not anymore, but of all time, Gears of War would probably be like the second biggest Xbox franchise behind Halo. Now I'd say it's more so like Forza. Forza might even be bigger than Halo at this point. But yeah, now this is like the final step. Now all that's left is Halo. This is like the second last like Thanos Infinity Gauntlet stone going in, and then they'll get one more, and then boom. It's over. It's all over now. Yeah, no, that's just a cool thing to see. I've played a little bit of Gears of War. I think I have I got a free one whenever I bought my Xbox One, and I just like never had a super big interest in it. So I never even played it on the Xbox One. Maybe like a tiny bit when I first got the console, and this was back in 2014 or whatever. This was whatever the one that they're talking about is the remaster from whatever year that was, and yeah, the Ultimate Edition, Gears of War Ultimate Edition. So I played a little bit of that, I think, but mostly I just played it back in the day. I think Gears of War 2 or 3 with my buddy, and we played like the Horde mode, and that was a lot of fun actually. But I don't know, like I don't love the clunkiness, the bigness of it. But maybe if I retried it today, I might like it more. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. But that's all what it really was to talk about on that. Now, Nintendo be suing people. This one, I'll be honest, this one might be a little justified, if I'm being completely honest with you. Okay, so Nintendo files lawsuit against Genki over unauthorized Switch 2 mockups and trademark use at CES 2025. This is by Abdullah Jawad. Jawad, sorry if I say that wrong. From thegamepost.com. So, if you don't know, this was a bit of a scandal back in the day. Well, not back in the day. This was in January, I think. Well, let's read through. Nintendo is suing accessory maker Genki after it showed off unofficial Switch 2 mockups at CES 2025, claiming trademark misuse and misleading marketing. In what started as a surprising moment at CES 2025, things have taken a sharp turn for accessory brand Genki. Earlier this year, Genki showed off what it claimed were accurate mock-ups of Nintendo's next console, the Nintendo Switch 2, well before Nintendo had made anything public. Happened at a CES booth complete with 3D printed replicas, early accessory previews, and even a flashy video render. People stopped and stared. Reporters took notes, and fans online started asking if Genki had some kind of inside track. That the attention didn't sit well with Nintendo. Fast forward to now, Nintendo has officially filed a lawsuit against Genki, accusing the company of using its trademark without permission and making misleading claims to promote its own products. Yeah, so I'm not going to read this whole thing. If you want to, you can go to the website. It's thegamepost.com. But yeah, it's a little scary because Nintendo loves to sue people. It seems like their favorite thing to do after making games. Maybe they might even like it more than making games, honestly. That might be their main source of revenue is lawsuit settlements. But this one, I'll be honest, Genki, in my opinion, I feel like they crossed the line. I don't know. I'm not a trademarker. I say this every time I make a point. I'm not Nintendo. I don't own shit like this. I've obviously never been in this kind of position. But it's that to me seems like a bit of a cross the line. If it was enough to get attention from the press and the media and like have kind of fans and people turning their heads, like they knew when they did this that they were going to get attention, and that's why they did it. It seems like to me. So why would they do it? To sell products? Probably. So, hopefully, like, I don't blame them fully, but I feel like it is a bit of a dick move. So I would hope at least whatever extra revenue they got, that can help pay for this lawsuit against Nintendo. There was more to it though. Nintendo lawyers. Oh yeah, so Nintendo lawyers even confronted them at CES. This is also from Abdullah Jawad, but this is from January 11th, 2025. Fans have pieced together information from alleged developer sources and patent filings. While Nintendo maintains a tight lid on official details, with an expected announcement this month, the hype is reaching a new high, and even in every scrap of potential information feels monumental. Yeah, so this was from back in January, just kind of showing that the lawyer Nintendo took notice of this like immediately. So not great for Genki. But they did make a response. So I'll read a bit about that now. This is Chris Scullion at VGC. Accessory manufacturer Genki responds after being sued by Nintendo for showing off Switch too early. The company showed off 3D printed mockups and renders before Nintendo's official reveal. Not good. Nintendo recently filed against the company for showing off 3D printed mockups of Nintendo Switch ahead of its official announcement. The suit accuses Genki's parent company, Human Things, of trademark infringement, unfair competition, and false advertising, and if found in Nintendo's favor, would require Genki to destroy all products related to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, and to cease using Nintendo's trademarks again. Oof, that is rough. I didn't realize it was so intense. Didn't realize that you played like that, Nintendo. Actually, I did. But it's even weird, like, they're, like, fully, like, no, we are not doing business with you anymore. Which is crazy, honestly. Like, you'd think, I thought Nintendo kind of liked these other companies making accessories for them. But maybe not. Or maybe they're too proud to be like, no, you shut off our console, you don't get special access anymore. Fuck you. Which is fair, to be honest. You may have seen that Nintendo recently filed. Okay, so this is Genki posted now on Twitter. Their statement. So here it is. Here, post note from the Genki team. You may have seen that Nintendo recently filed a lawsuit against us. We're taking it seriously and working with legal counsel to respond thoughtfully. What we can say is this. Genki has always been an independent company focused on building innovative gaming accessories for the community we love. We're proud of the work we've done, and we stand by the quality and originality of our products. While we can't comment in detail, we're continuing preparations to fulfill orders and showcase our newest products at PAX East this week. We're grateful for the overwhelming support we've received so far. We'll share more when we can, but for now, we're staying focused on doing what we can do, what we do best, building gear for gamers. Team Genki. So this was on May 3rd. So this happened a couple days ago, but I was I kind of missed out on it because I wasn't. Monday for yesterday was the 4th. Yeah, this was Saturday. Sorry, just a second. I'm having a. Okay. Yeah. So. Just crazy stuff, man. It's things are getting serious, that's for sure. Let me keep reading here. The most notable Switch 2 incident involving Genki came during the Consumer Electronics Show 2025. Yep. Yeah, at the showcase, they said they're happy to discuss any Switch 2 info we have as well as the stuff we're making for it. Shortly after this, Genki's CEO, Edward Tsai, personally showed off his 3D printed mock-ups and stated to different reporters that Genki reporters that Genki had access to an authentic Switch 2 on which Genki based the mock-ups, rendering and 3D printed mock-ups, according to the suit. In January, it was claimed that lawyers representing Nintendo approached Genki on the CES show floor, and it's alleged that despite this encounter, the company went on to display a video at CES showing off a render of the then unannounced Nintendo Switch 2, which included Nintendo trademarks such as the Nintendo Switch 2 logo. Like, this is crazy. Like, why would they do that? You're just asking to get sued. Like, Nintendo loves to sue people. That's like their favorite thing to do, along with making games. They probably like to do this more than making games. And you're going to be so bold as to, like, even after being approached by their lawyers, be so bold as to be like, no, we're going to continue showing it off. And this was before the Switch was even announced. Like, this was straight up, like, I think Nintendo Switch 2 was announced, it was like a weekend this year. This was before that. Like, days before Nintendo was about to unveil their new console. This other company used it to showcase their products. Like, the more that I'm talking about it, the more I'm like, okay, this is fucked up of them to do. Like, obviously they're gonna sue you guys. Like, And I feel bad because I like it's a smaller company comparatively to Nintendo, I assume. But why the fuck? Why would they do that? It's so dumb. Like, I'm sorry, but ah, and I obviously don't want them to suffer. It'd be nice if they could continue to make products for Nintendo, but it seems like they took a gamble and it did not pay off for them. You know, they took this gamble to increase they're like, oh, well, we'll probably get some flack from Nintendo, but it might be fine. Not fine. And, you know, maybe I honestly hope that the court rules in their favor and they can continue to make accessories for Nintendo Switch 2, but like I can't imagine that's gonna happen. Like, no freaking way. I don't know. It just seems like it was an unnecessary thing to do for like 5 seconds of fame. And I guess they got another 5 seconds, but you know, it's arguably a lot worse of a 5 seconds than the first one. And then, you know, they'll probably, once this gets settled, there'll be another update, and that'll be the last you hear of them, possibly, in relation to Nintendo. Anyways, maybe not. Maybe I'm way off. I think that's all I really had to say about that. I got one little last thing to go off before I sign off for today. Yeah, see another. This is just a quick one. Just a quick latest in gaming. Devolver Digital, the crazy MFs that they are, have decided to launch a game the exact same day as GTA 6. This is more than a year out, but they said this a while ago. So let me look here. This was this was March. Oh yeah, no, March 26, 2025. This was a month and a half ago, basically. And oops, don't see that. A month and a half ago that they said this, and now that GTA 6 finally got its release date, they're like, fuck you, we're sticking to it. It's funny that it was March 26th that they first said it, and then it ended up being May 26th that's coming out. So this comes from Michael Kripe at IGN. Sorry. Rockstar Games has revealed that Grand Theft Auto 6's release date is May 26, 2026, and indie game publisher Devolver Digital says it's already making plans to be there with a new game of its own. The company took a lighthearted shot at what is indisputably set up to be the biggest game launch of 2026 and ever, with a release date announcement of its own on X/Twitter. Now that GTA 6 has a proper release date, Devolver Digital has announced plans to release a mystery title on that same May 26th date. It's a chaotic marketing strategy that Devolver Digital seems serious about following through on, at least for now. The mystery game's release date arrives after the company's previously made the promise to launch a game of its own when Rockstar finally announced its long-awaited GTA 6 release date. We now know that date to be May 26th of the next year, so naturally Devolver Digital has a message: you can't escape us. May 26, 2026 then. This is just funny. I hope that whatever game Devolver does release, if they do, that it's not one that somebody put a lot of work into. I hope it's a little smaller, but honestly, I think this could even work out for them in their favor. Like, it's a good meme, you know, to see, and if it's like if it's something memey, if it's a good game, like I honestly could see this working out in their favor. But just like the last story, it is a gamble, a much smaller risk gamble. Devolver Digital publishes a lot of games. You know, one game isn't a big deal to them. But yeah, no, I just hope this doesn't like end up overshadowing whatever hard work these developers might have put into it. But I guess we'll see. Devolver Digital has an extensive library of smaller scale titles such as Hotline Miami, Enter the Gungeon, The Messenger, Katana Zero, Cult of the Lamb, and more. And I think my favorite one would be My Friend Pedro. Pretty sure that's Devolver. Whether the company plans to release a follow-up to an existing series or something new entirely remains to be seen. Upcoming entries in its catalog of games include Baby Steps. Oh yeah, I'm excited for Baby Steps. And Stick It to the Stick Man. 2 projects that are due out before 2025 comes to an end. There's also Into the Gungeon 2 and Human Fall Flat 2, which are both expected to arrive sometime in 2026, though developer No Breaks Games has already assured fans that it has no intention of releasing the latter on May 26th. We can confirm that Human Fall Flat will not be releasing on May 26, 2026. That's pretty funny. It's just a good meme, to be honest. More than a year out from launch, GTA 6 is already positioned to be a juggernaut video game. It'll, this is just stuff, but I don't know. I just thought it was a funny little thing. There's not much to say about it. I didn't have much to say about anything today, I guess. That's fine, though. I just kind of wanted to stick to my schedule. But I'll be back again on Wednesday. And in the meantime, I'll be streaming Oblivion. Probably not every day, but a few times this week. I might even kind of stream some of that like earlier in the day at some point. I'm not sure. But anyways, for anybody... Oh, sorry. Let me just switch over here. For anybody that watches this later, appreciate it. Why don't you just stick around, catch me live sometime. So hit that sub button. Check out my other videos. I got some great videos, in my opinion. And yeah, well,